The UIM F1H2O World Powerboat Championship launched into the new season at the Grand Prix of France in Macon, Val de Saône for round 1 of 2022. Located on the western bank of the River Saône between Brest in the east and the Beaujolais Hills in the south, Macon is an ancient city with a rich heritage bearing centuries of influence from Romans, Celts and Franks, all evident in the city center where historic buildings, cobblestone streets, stone bridges, restaurants and cafes abound, crowned by the cathedral St. Vincent de Macon. The River Saône, which connects to the Mediterranean via the Rhône River and runs through the center of Macon, provided a stunning and close-up racing experience for locals and visitors, with the wet pits and the circuit all in front of City Hall and providing an exquisite backdrop as crowds gathered for the Grand Prix of France. Macon is a brand new venue for the UIM F1H2O and marks a return to France after the last race in Evian in 2019. It was all thanks to the Macon Motor Yacht Club president Jean-Vital Deguine and Cédric Deguine of Maverick Racing Team, as father and son realized their dream of bringing UIM F1H2O racing to their hometown.
I am very, very happy, and my mind, I never think sometimes or one time I'm going to race in Formula One in my town, in my hometown. So I'm very proud to be here. Proud to be here with all the other pilots, and proud to show to my inhabitants, to everybody what is the Formula One.
To add to the excitement of hosting a first ever UIM F1H2O event was the thrill of actually getting the chance of taking a spin in the F1H2O two-seater, an experience like no other and not for the faint-hearted. There were 6 teams and 15 drivers competing at the Grand Prix of France in Macon, with a mix of veteran champions and young blood doing battle on the River Saône. With the new talent on hand, this could be a year of rising rookie champs. All eyes were on French outfit Maverick Racing Team, led by hometown hero and resident of Macon, Cédric Deguine, who has been competing since 2015 and partnering with teammate Alexander Bourgeot. The man with the #1 boat this season is the defending 2021 world champion Jonas Andersson of Team Sweden, who finally won the world title after years of coming agonizingly close. He's a one-man show who builds his own boats and tunes his own engines.
This is my world champion engine, and this is the engine I win many races with, and it's the name of my daughter. We are really happy to be back racing after so long time, and to have #1 is on the boat is like a dream, so I'm really happy. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be really tough to defend the world championship, but for this race it's going to be very tricky because it's very different kind of course and it's going to be very rough. So
he races alongside young Finnish talent Kalle Vipo. The big boys on the tour, Team Abu Dhabi, perhaps the most successful and dominant team in years, guided by team manager and 10-time world champion Guido Capellini, whose meticulous attention to detail has delivered highly reliable boat packages. Team Abu Dhabi boasts UAE veteran Thani Al-Khamzi, who finished second overall last year. He races alongside 2-time world champion Sean Torrente of the USA, who's still reeling from that engine breakdown that cost him the world championship in the very last race of 2021. He has his sights set on a 3rd world championship this year.
So last year I went into the final race leading the championship and thought I had a good chance at it, and I did. And then we had an engine issue in qualifying, so I had to start last. Hopefully this year we can have a good start to the season, and then a good solid season after that, meaning a lot of races, and come back on top and put the one back on my boat, because it feels weird not having it on there. I had it on there for like what felt like an eternity, because I was a 2-time world champion for 4 years.
China's CTIC team is led by three-time world champion Philipp Schiap, who has been struggling to get back to form for the last few seasons. He races with fellow Frenchman Peter Marin, a tenacious, hardened, and highly competitive racer who gives 110% every race, but he's still looking for that first Grand Prix win.
I would like to be on the podium for sure, but there is so many drivers who wants this aim, so it will be a little bit difficult, I think.
Sharjah team boasts yet another multiple world champion, 2007 and 2010 title holder Sami Seljo of Finland.
Now we prepared quite well. We went to have the good testing sessions in Portugal and try the new things, and they seem to work. So hopefully this season will be good finally.
His teammate this year is Dutch ace Ferdinand Zandbergen.
Last year was my rookie year. I started my first race in Portugal. It was a back-to-back race, and it goes better than expected because I get the fourth position in my first race. So I was never expecting to be at that place.
Led by four-time world champion Scott Gilman, Gilman Racing Team boasts rising new star Alec Bäckström of Finland, who finished 5th last year in his very first season as a rookie, and he will be one to look out for in 2022.
Yeah, we had a good run and managed to keep up with the old guys and the old world champions. And now we don't have to think so much anymore about being on the pits and looking up to the other guys. Now we can focus on our own thing and see what we can do.
Bäckström is joined by fellow Finn Philip Roms, who transfers over from Sharjah team. Alberto Comparato is also in the mix with his own team, the young Italian keen to build on a sensational start to last year, where he won the pole position and nearly the race at the Grand Prix of Europe in San Nazzaro.
Yeah, we modify a bit the boat and the engine because we had a fast engine in San Nazzaro but couldn't last the race. So we think we understand why, but yeah, we still not have the best one here, but we will have for San Nazzaro hopefully.
Marit Stromoy of Stromoy Racing is a former Grand Prix winner and year-end podium placer, always fighting for the top rung, and she wants to turn a new leaf after a disappointing year in 2021. She continues to race with Polish driver Bartek Marszalek. F1 Atlantic Team's veteran driver Duarte Benavente looking to add to an impressive record of over 160 Grand Prix raced. The Grand Prix of France circuit on the River Saône is a tight, fast and short track. It has just 2 narrow turns on either end of 2 long straightaways. The qualifying time trials determined the race lineup on the starting pontoon and the coveted pole position. It would be a tough session on this tight course where it was hard to get a clean lap due to increased traffic. Once again, there were 3 qualifying rounds, but in Q3, all 6 remaining boats would run simultaneously for 10 minutes, with the fastest boat getting pole. In Q1, the fleet of 15 boats was reduced to 12 that qualified for Q2. The drivers who couldn't make the cut, Bartek Marszalek of Stromoy Racing, Kalle Vipo of Team Sweden, and Alexander Bourgeot of Maverick Racing.
Yeah, it's tough beginning of the season for me, but we still have few races. I know what to do to get on track, so now we have some tasks to do in our home, and I will be for sure stronger.
In Q2, former pole position winner Alberto Comparato crashed out early in the session, but he still managed to get a lap time in, placing him in front of Cedric De Guin, who had a mechanical issue and was unable to get off the dock.
I think I was going to flip and then just nosedive, I think.
Duarte Benavente was off the pace, unable to make the Q3 cut, as was former pole position winner Marit Stromoy, both unable to find clean water.
It's very close in the end. I think I was 0.08 or something from the top 6, but it's very tight in the top, so it's very difficult to find the right spot.
The huge surprise was Jonas Andersson, the defending world champion, ignominiously bumped out of the top 6 and unable to get into Q3, finishing 7th. Rookies Alec Bäckström and Ferdinand Zandbergen made it into Q3, but then disaster for Zandbergen, who flipped his boat and was unable to run Q3. The final 6 boats in Q3, Sami Seljo with the fastest lap, Bäckström second, then Alcamzi, Torrente and Marin, who replaced Zandbergen. In Q3, all 6 boats out at once, 10 minutes to lay their fastest laps. Sami Seljo was fastest in both Q1 and Q2, and he continued his blistering form in Q3 with an exceptional 32.20 second lap time. The Team Abu Dhabi teammates Sean Torrente and Thani Alcamzi were not far behind Seljo, with half a second separating the 3 veterans as they went out lap after lap. Thani Alcamzi's run ended early, however, due to fuel problems.
Fuel finish.
China CTIC driver Peter Marin set a good time, nabbing 4th fastest with a 32.86 lap time. Torrente in second kept up the pace, yet was unable to take pole, but then Seljo went one better, 32.02 seconds. What a lap! That seals the deal. Seljo drops the gauntlet, the fin is back. Torrente finishes second, then Alcamzi third, Marin fourth, Bäckström fifth.
We have been trying lately so hard for getting the results back there where they should be, but hard work pay off sometimes, and keep trying, and then it came. So I need to be pleased. Whole team did an amazing job. Still prove that I'm able to drive in the top and be fast there. So especially this tight course, but I was able to be many times in P1 there and show that the speed is there.
Yes! We did it!
First race of the 2022 season was on. Conditions rough and windy on the Saône River as drivers prepared for the start.
Yeah, I'm starting 8th. It's going to be a rolling start because it's too narrow the race course to do a normal start. So of course charging up from 8th is not ideal, but I think a lot of things can happen, and the races will be 60 laps. So we just have to stick in there.
Tough going for Ferdinand Zandbergen of Sharjah team as he crashed yet again in morning practice. 2 crashes in 24 hours is tough for the team, but they managed to get his boat ready by race time. Drivers and teams prepared for the rolling start rather than the usual pontoon exit due to the tight and technical nature of the course in Macon. The rolling start might have proved an advantage for Seljo in pole, but behind him were 2 top-notch drivers from the most successful team in F1H2O in recent years. Can Alcamzi or Torrente get the jump on Seljo at the start? The starting grid, Sami Seljo with the best seat in the house. Behind him were Torrente and Alcamzi in P2 and P3, Peter Marin P4, then Bäckström, Andersson with a lot of water to cover. Stromoy and Schiap also had their work cut out for them. The boats went out for the formation lap to get in position for the rolling start. The crowds lining the shores of the Saône held their breath in anticipation of the start. The 2 Team Abu Dhabi boats keeping a tight line behind Seljo, pumped and ready to pounce at the green flag. A good start was crucial. The boats come around the turn and the race is underway. Seljo out in the lead, flanked by the 2 Abu Dhabi boats, Torrente in the number 6 boat to Seljo's right, and Alcamzi in the number 5 boat to his left. Seljo holds on to the lead, rounding the turn on the inside. Torrente in second on the outside, with Alcamzi tight around that buoy. Can Alcamzi snatch the lead here? But Torrente is faster. Torrente in second, ahead of his teammate Alcamzi in third. Two-time world champion Celio has only been on the podium twice in the last 3 seasons as he's been plagued with technical mishaps and breakdowns. He wants to break that streak this season, and he's off to a fine start so far in Macon. Defending world champion Jonas Andersen in 7th at the turn buoy, with Sharjah team's Ferdinand Zandbergen on his outside, but Andersen gets the speed on the inside to overhaul the Dutch rookie and move up into 6th at the start of the 60-lap race. Andersen sets his sight on Gilman Racing's Alec Bäckström, trying to slip through, but the Finnish rookie shuts off the veteran champ as Bäckström hangs on to 5th. In 4th position is French ace Peter Marin of China team, who had his best ever season in 2021 with 2 podiums and 4th overall in the year-end standings as he chases a first ever Grand Prix win. Further back, an epic battle unfolding as Kalle Vipo of Team Sweden passes local hero Cedric de Guin of Maverick. And then Vipo overhauls Bartek Marszalek as well, passing the Polish ace on the outside to move up into 12th. Sharjah team Zandbergen in trouble. He's already had 2 crashes, one earlier in the day, and he now finds himself slipping back to 10th behind Duarte Benavente of F1 Atlantic team. Positions remained the same up in the lead, but Peter Marin was really pressing hard on Alcamzi as the French driver made a move for the top 3. Behind Marin, Alec Bäckström in the number 66 boat, the Finnish rookie already with a Grand Prix runner-up finish under his belt from race 2 at Figueira da Foz in his first season last year, finishing the year 5th overall. Andersen in 7th position, behind him pushing hard is 3-time world champion Philip Schiap of China team in 7th. It's a dogfight further back as Bartek Marszalek of Stromoy Racing is just a boat's length away from Cedric de Guin in a fight for 13th position. Marszalek refuses to let up, pushing hard, giving it his all, but de Guin holds off the Polish racer. But Marszalek's persistence pays off as he powers through on the inside and takes 13th from de Guin. The battle for 6th continues as Schiap puts the pressure on Jonas Andersen, the 2 veteran former world champions with 4 titles between them, locking horns on the roughening waters of the Saône River. Schiap on the inside looking for the speed on that long straightaway, but Andersen is no slouch. The Swede is fast and steady, staving off the Schiap challenge for now. The first exit of the race, Duarte Benavente is out early. Tough break for the Portuguese veteran. Out in the lead, Sami Celio is putting in an exceptional performance as he opens up a significant gap with the Abu Dhabi boats. Celio is caught up with his teammate Ferdinand Zandbergen and is about to lap him. But more bad luck for the young Dutchman as Zandbergen loses power and the Dutch driver is out of the race in lap 14.
All the power in the engine went off. Everything, all the power gone.
Another boat in trouble. This time it's Alberto Comparato who heads back to the docks on lap 16. In a battle for 3rd, Marin keeps up the chase with Alcamzi as the boats have to negotiate their way through the back markers on the short and tight course, which is an added challenge here. Marin racing with everything he's got as usual, tough, tenacious and competitive, but Alcamzi with 38 podiums, 8 race wins and 140 races under his belt knows how to hold point and fend off the challenge. Behind them, Bäckström putting in another great race in 5th, but with Andersen right behind him, he cannot afford any mistakes. Andersen has his own challenger to deal with though as Schiap continues his unrelenting pursuit of the Swedish world champion. In command of this race is Sami Celio, and he is sublime, opening a 12-second lead by lap 36 as Torrente and Alcamzi struggle to keep up. Oh no, there's a problem with Celio's boat. The Finnish race leader is slowing down and pulling off. Sure enough, Sean Torrente pounces, slipping through on the inside of a struggling Celio as Torrente becomes the new race leader. Celio hasn't won a race since 2016 at the Grand Prix of Harbin, and he desperately needed this. What a shame for him and Sharjah team with both drivers out. Heartbreak there as he rues what might have been.
I don't know, the power lost, so feel something electronic or something. Some very silly thing, something. Cannot be true.
Lap 42, just 18 laps left as Team Abu Dhabi are on track for yet another 1-2 shutout. Torrente with a 7-second cushion over Al-Khamzi. Peter Marin in the top three after Celio's exit, with Vekstrom fourth, Anderson fifth, and Schiap sixth, with the field reduced to 11 boats. Oh no, Marin's teammate Philippe Schiap in trouble. The French veteran heads back to the wet pit with a damaged propeller that has to be changed quick as he relinquishes sixth position with just 10 laps left. The China team crew works quick. The new prop is on. Schiap is ready to head back out. Schiap finds himself in 10th, having dropped 4 spots, but he's still at least in the race and on track for points. Schiap's prop change moves Marit Stromoy up into 6th position behind Jonas Andersen. But the laps wind down and Torrente is too far ahead to catch. Sean Torrente in the final lap with an unassailable lead. He missed out on the world title hat-trick with a breakdown in the final race of 2021, but he's put that behind him and started his 2022 campaign off on a winning note with 20 points as Torrente takes the Grand Prix of France in Macon, Val d'Isonne. Torrente's teammate Dani Al-Khamzi solid all race long with 15 points for a Team Abu Dhabi 1-2 finish. Another career podium finish for Peter Marin in third. Alec Vekstrom with another brilliant result in fourth as he collects 9 points. Anderson fifth, Marit Stromoy sixth, Kalle Vipo with a solid 7th, and Marshallek, Schiap and De Guin all in the points as they fill out the top 10. Bourgeot in 11th. Team Abu Dhabi, led by Capellini, deliver on the season opener. 2 perfect drives and a 1-2 shutout.
Hard race, very hard race, and also we don't know what to speak about the course, but alhamdulillah we do very well today. We finished first and second. Rough water, windy, is a good setup. Guido Capellini, he prepared the boat, very good setup. We see you next race in Sanazaro, we see difference.
Happy, of course. It was a hard race. Maybe some problem with the engine propeller or something like that. So I try to feel good the boat and stay with the same lap every time.
The French fans congratulated their third place hero, Peter Marin. The overall results, Sean Torrente is the Grand Prix of France champion for 2022, Al-Khamzi runner-up, Marin on the third step of the podium in third.
Yeah, I love it. To get first and second again is really, it's incredible. It's just, it's a testament to our team. Yesterday I missed the pole by just a little bit, and I knew Sammy would be tough, but I also know that we have really, really well-prepared equipment that's going to make it the whole way. So I could push and get with him, and I could be as quick as him today, but I just felt like he was just taking too much risk for as many laps as we had left. I mean, he was flying all over the place. I'm like, if he can do that for 45 more laps, then he deserves to win the race, and he couldn't. Obviously, he broke something. Sucks. I've been there, so I feel bad for that, but at the same time, you got to get to the end, and that's what this championship is about making all the laps good and getting to the end.
As the UIM F1H2O flag passes to San Nazzaro, that concludes the Grand Prix of France in Macon. See you in San Nazzaro for a double hit, the Grand Prix of Regione Emilia-Romagna and the Grand Prix of Italy.